Hi everyone, I'm Rhodes Martin. I'm our Student Connection and Community Coordinator for Clubs and Organizations on the downtown campus. And today I'm going to be walking you through how to create an event in Sendable Sync. So basically how I got here, just in case anyone wants to know, Inferno Insiders is a club I have managerial access to, which you will have if you are the officer or advisor, but you can start on your Explore page. And then you will see your memberships right here. You click on Inferno Insiders, manage organization, and this will take you to this page. Now from here, we're operating on the new Sendable Sync, so if anyone isn't using that, make sure you go over here and switch to the new navigation. But you will hover over the little Inferno Insiders logo, click there, and then scroll down to events. All right, now once you're into events, you are going to create an event. Well, now that we're in the creating event, we just got to fill out some information, pick a time and place, and then we are good to go. So let's start with picking a place. So we'll do a doubles on Taylor. Theme of it. This lets you choose between a bunch of different themes. There's art, music, athletics, cultural, fundraising, group business, learning, service, social, and spirituality. I'm going to go ahead and choose athletics, and then make sure you put a description of what the event is. When people look on the Explore page and are looking at events, this is what they'll be able to read about what's taking place at the event. Enjoy, have fun, pregame, tailgate, before ASU takes on UCLA. Free food. All right, so now that I got all that typed out as a description, I'm gonna come down here. If I have anyone co-hosting the event, like say PAB is co-hosting the event, I can choose programming and activities board. And right here, you can see they populate and I can make them the co-host. If I don't want anyone to co-host, you just exit out of that. Then you scroll down. Next, you'll want to do time and place. So just picking the date of the event. So I know this one is taking place on October 8th. And then the time is between 3 and 5 p.m. 3, 5 p.m. And then make sure you're always adding a location. If you're doing a Zoom one, you would click online location, you'd enter the Zoom link. If it's an in-person location, you would just go on here, type out the location name, Taylor Mall, and the address would be Taylor Street in Phoenix, Arizona. Great. So that's got Taylor Street, Phoenix, Arizona, Taylor Mall. And then one thing to do if you this is for a meeting, you can always do a reoccurring event. So you can do add another date and then you can pick up to as many dates as you want. That way you don't have to submit for every single meeting you're entering. You can just do one submission that has all your dates. Next, you can choose whether this is internal, so students and staff only on Sendable Sync, only your organization member, or only invited people, or you just make it general to the public. And then your event category. So this is a very important one. Whenever you are doing an online or a Zoom event, make sure you are clicking ASU Sync. And if you're ever doing a in-person event, you have to select the in-person event category. This has to be selected for all in-person events. If it's not there, the people that review the events is either going to go in and add it or they're going to send it back to you telling you to add it. But you can also pick here a bunch of different categories of other things you want to add, whether this is a change maker event, it's civic engagement, if it's just a club meeting, if it's a culture event, if it's Devils in Disguise, which is another service one, all sorts of different stuff. But this one we are going to pick in-person event, and then we are also going to pick Sendable Athletics. So that way we know that it's a sport event and that it's in person. And then free food and free stuff. You can also mark for credit but this will typically be if you're offering like a class or something. And most clubs and organizations will just be free food and free stuff if that's what they're giving away. And you'll hit next, and this will take you to the RSVP settings. Now, here in the RSVP settings, typically for most public events, you're just going to leave it blank. Anyone can RSVP to this. But if you do want to select a limited amount of people, you can limit the number of RSVP spots. You can set how many you want it to limit to. So say I wanted to limit this one to 100. This is good if you know you're going to have a speaker and you're only using a certain size room that can only fit up to so many people. Or if you're getting food and you want to have people RSVP ahead of time, that way you know how many are coming and you can order the correct amount of food. You can also make this to only invitees. So this would make it you have to send out all your RSVPs. Kind of like if you were sending out an RSVP to an event via mail, it only would go to those invited. And then this invites all members of the organizations and co-hosts. So this one's just automatic. You're going to invite all your members. And there's just a couple other ones. You can allow organizations to represent at your event so they can come. Basically, this says they can come. This is a good one for tabling. If you want people to table at your event, you mark this, meaning that they can bring their own stuff. So if you're hosting a bigger event, you want other clubs to represent their own organization, mark that. And then you can also add a question. So if you have RSVP questions like, oh, if you're getting type of food, like, oh, are you vegetarian? Are you gluten-free? Any food allergies we should be aware of. Yeah, and then this is just where you would edit your questions. You can make it a single line, multi-line. Radio button just means picking a button on like between one to four things, checkboxes, or a drop-down menu. And once all this is done, so we're going to go with anyone can come because it's a public event. Just click next. And this would take you to a post-event feedback. So this will allow, if you want people to rate your event or to give you feedback on how well the event went on Sunday Sync, you can always come here. This would just be add a summary. So this lets people kind of include a summary, and you can include a little summary or instruction on how they should give you feedback or what you're asking of them. You can also type a question to ask them, basically stuff like that, asking people to rate your event following the event. Post-event feedback's great if you're trying out a new event for the first time and you're wanting to get a rating or evaluation on how the event went. All right, once you're done with all this, you can upload a photo. If you do not have a photo, you purely will just, Sunday Sync will generate one for you, but I suggest making a little marketing material or a photo to add here. So we are going to add pictures. This one. So this is not the one we're using, but we'll just, for this actual event, but we'll use it for this example. And then I would just crop the image and there it is. So for example, this is the adding a photo, but since we're not going to use this one, I don't want to put it in there. So delete that. And then you can skip this option if you just want to have it automatically generate. Now it's going to bring you here. This will either be complete submission or it'll continue to custom fields. When you continue in custom fields, you cannot go through this without administrative access, basically to the club. But basically what you're coming now to is if you would like this to be on the welcome event calendar. The welcome event calendar takes place between August 1st and October 1st. It's basically has to get approved by the ASU welcome team in Tempe. So if you mark yes, it will take a little longer for yours to get approved. Otherwise, just hit no. If it's just a general invite and you're going to market it your own, then you would just hit no, next. And once your submission is done, you would just enter submit. That's pretty much everything you need to know for event submission. You can always go in and edit an event prior to submission or even after approval. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or any of our club contacts. And thank you all for watching.